Good morning, beautiful peoples. Dr. Talismay Copeland here. I'm going to be doing a series of videos that may or may not feel to me, in my spirit, that they have anything to do with each other. But they are connected, just like your wrist is connected to your ankle. It's a long way around the body from, the tibial and all of that, but you will get there. And when we have an editor who can understand where my story goes and put it together in order, it will even make more sense when in the editing process. So bear with me. And today's subject is about something that you and I, in the beginning, thought was a little woo-woo. And by that I mean kind of out there on the fringes of spirituality, maybe metaphysical, maybe just ancestral wisdom, whatever. But the common phrase is woo-woo. And in the hospice room, when someone is dying, we very gently approach and open the door to spirituality. I'm very blessed in that I had a grandmother who coached me, walked beside me, and opened many doors for me, and eternally grateful. As many of you know, I grew up on a ranch in Kansas. We raised horses. My grandfather was a trainer. He rode, taught me to ride, taught me to saddle my own horse, which might be why I excel at so many things now, because there's a lot to saddle in a horse. And we also farmed wheat, I think originally corn as well, milo, if you know what that is. It's grain for the cattle. And alfalfa, a little bit of alfalfa. And then we had pastures for the cattle. And he was very particular and insisted on black Angus cattle, which do make some of the best beef, especially if they're not full of hormones and grass-fed. And he was very particular about that. So, with that being said, the picture that is behind me today, the white horse, as you can see, this is a painting that I did quite a few years ago, 5-7 years, I'm not sure. And I highlighted it. When you can move in, you can see there's little roses up here in the horse's mane. And then I love turquoise and teal. I love those colors. They're so vibrant and life-giving and energizing. My bedroom is that colors too. So I love surrounding myself with different colors on different days for different extra frequencies, beautiful energies. So with that being said, I was raised by my grandparents, and in a very non-traditional way on a ranch. And when that happens, I think it opens a child up to exploring who they are, why this happened, what's wrong with them, what's right with them, what made them different, and what they're supposed to do with all that. We're not just traditional doctors. I certainly wasn't. I started out to be a lawyer to help my grandfather with running the business of the farm. That was my motivation. That's what I wanted to do, was help him. I went to university in eastern Kansas, and my first semester of law school, I realized I didn't want anything to do with it. I thought it was a fascinating idea, but I quickly learned that a lawyer has to argue and debate for a living. I'm not the kind of person who can do that. I'm more the kind of person who witnesses like the horse. We go on our journeys. We watch, we observe, we learn the terrain, we learn where to put our feet, what to do next. We're very sensitive to directions. We can read the room well. And if you know anything about hearts, or horses, they have very big hearts. And their hearts can sense emotions, sense sadness, sense hurt. And a horse, if you've ever been involved or know anything about horse therapy, it's very helpful for traumatized children or adults who've want to take that extra step to heal and comfort and regain confidence in themselves. Many years after, well, not too many, but 5 or 6 years after my grandmother died, I inherited property from her, and then later on from my grandfather. And I discovered reading her Bible that she had some Native American ancestry to her that had some connections to the Taos Pueblo, the Tewa Pueblo tribe that I had, unbeknownst to myself, felt drawn to, felt very curious about, very mystified, and found everything that the art, the home environments, the cooking. I love that bread. Many things there. The forwardness of the conversation, the bluntness of the truth. All of those things really resonated with me. They felt like my cells were remembering who I was. And a great many years, I was in my 30s, I think, before I realized that I had ancestry there. And I got to go down and explore some of those things, and was told some stories about a lady they believed was my great grandmother. Well, along that journey, because I had been orphaned and was raised by my grandmother, the grandmothers there had a ceremony for me, a re-ceremony. And I was, in a way, it's like a baptism, but it's not. It's like a vision quest, but it's not. It's like a medicine circle, but it's not. And during that ceremony, I was renamed. My first name I've never used since I was a tiny little girl, and I never liked it. But I was given the new name of Talismay. Talismay, by then I was already a doctor. Talismay is a name that means a lucky charm, and I have a pen that I wear. It's often something that you put your faith in. I carry my faith on my shoulder with me. It's God and my angels, my guardians, my grandmother, my ancestors, those that have gone on before me and that are wiser, can kind of lead and help direct me and guide me, not just for my highest good, but for the highest good of all mankind. And that's my heart wish every day. For a long time in there, after medical school, I didn't know what I was supposed to do, because I disagreed with some of the ways they practiced. And I chose, partially because of my IQ and my ability to recognize patterns and where those patterns will take you on a trajectory. It's like when the horse goes on a path, the horse can see a long ways down that road, generally speaking. And the horse can calibrate its footsteps, its stride, where to rest, where to slow down, where to maybe comfort the rider, give the rider a couple of extra breaths in between a gallop or a trot. Anyway, horse is very wise. The horse sees. The horse calibrates. Very much those qualities I have in myself. So not only was I given a new name, Talismay, but I was also introduced to my soul or spirit totem. This is the one that's most like my personality, and it's the white horse. And the white horse has walked with me for, well, since 1979 that I'm aware of, and probably before that, probably through my grandmothers. I didn't realize the power, the strength, or the role of the white horse in my journey until a few years after my renaming and a few years after I knew the white horse was one of my totems. I had done a spiritual healing. I wouldn't really call it an exorcism, but it was similar to that. I wouldn't really call it a treatment, but it was similar to that. Let's just call it rewriting, having a lot of downloads, a lot of information drop into someone's experience, and finally allow their mind to shift and see the highest perspective that that person could see, and then pick up, reassemble themselves, and go from that place. This person had gotten really far off track. And during this, we did it in ceremony, so we were in a divinely protected, safe environment. The person was very, very careful, psychology background. And I led the ceremony by leading the meditation, by helping them to relax, giving the guided meditation, so to speak, where we feel our shoulders, we can tighten them, and then we can loosen them, and then we can breathe into them, and do that into our chest, and do that into our hips, and do that into our legs and our feet, and then just allow that beautiful, beautiful God, original creator, all that is, come into our being and fill ourselves with light and with love, with abundance, with purity, with power and strength of the divine intelligence and creator that always was and will always be, which is us. Now, while I'm speaking these words, I feel the horse come to me, be over me, shadow me, be on my shoulder. I feel him very much like this is today. He was right there, speaking in my ear, telling me the words. And what became quite obvious is there was nothing for me to do, but show up, which I have since learned is everything. Show up, walk alongside this person, witness the pathway, witness the road, witness the journey. And when that journey was completed and they were returned back to level consciousness, regulated nervous system, fully back in their bodies, the horse and I walked them out of the journey. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to say a word. And to this day, I learned that was the right way. The horse witnesses, holds compassion, understands what happened, that had this person so deregulated, had this person so living out of their body, had this person so traumatized. The horse witnessed. The horse knew. I knew. We reassembled in a journey, in a healing ceremony, and then the horse and I walked our client, our person back. Now, the horse didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. But we witnessed and we held compassion, kindness for this person. Those are the things that I will always bring to the table. Those are things that I will always bring to the hospice room, to the end of life, dying bed. That's who I am. Now, you can trust that, or you can't trust that, depending on where you are. And it will be witnessed by myself, by the horse, by the ancestors, by your guardians. It's your choice. I will never twist your arm. I will never coax you into something. I don't have the power, or do I want the power to judge you, to hold you accountable. It's not mine. It is source energy. It is divine intelligence. And the more activated you become into divine intelligence living within you, projecting outward into the world, and you're able to live your best life or die your best death. I know that sounds weird, but it is a very, very beautiful and empowering experience and journey. And that is one that when you hire me as your coach or your advocate or your caregiver or your mentor, or I don't know what other thing you have in mind for me to do, that's what you get. I have many, many dear friends who want me by their bedside when they die. They want me to come and take care of them and be there with them like I am hundreds of other people over the years. I usually refuse, and here's why. As their friend who's known them, some of them a lifetime almost, they will take advantage of that. They don't mean to. Just like our children and our husbands, they didn't mean to do that. But they do not see me as the horse. They do not see the power and the bundle and the strength and the healing, even if that means death or in death, that comes. They expect magic and miracles like I've always done for them. Brilliant answers, magic potions, whatever. Okay, we can do all that, but not at the end of your life. Now, I have 4 very, very dear friends right now that I have witnessed and hold compassion for. Because I'm not at their bedside does not mean that I'm uncompassionate toward them. It doesn't mean that I have betrayed them. It doesn't mean that I don't support them. It means that I still love them and I have to support them in a different way. I know their habits. I know who they are. I know the games their mind has played on them. And sometimes by staying away, I keep my integrity and allow them to work out their patterns. Their patterns don't have anything to do with me, and I know that. The horse knows that. The road is the road, and the journey is the journey. I know how to saddle the horse. I know how to groom him. I know how to feed him. her. I know how to let it rest and water, stay warm and protected. And the horse does all those things for me too. The horse is a symbol of our higher selves. Or my horse, in my mind, is a symbol for my higher self, my giant intelligence. Some people have dragons. I like dragons too. As you see, here's my little dragon. Right there is my little dragon. The dragon is a symbol for the giant intelligence, wisdom, power, strength that comes to this earth to embody. Many of us live short of that. Many live short of that. I've allowed my dragon many times in ceremony and in activations. I'm going to be putting out some of those activations just to sell them individually so that people will have them, because they're very special to have when you're going through and making decisions on your own. They're very special, very empowering. So the horse, following the divine intelligence of all creators, the all being, the almighty, the original God source. It's beyond the word God. It's a bigger word than God. Some people think it is the divine intelligence, the original creator of all. I think it's 12th and 13th dimensional. I think the dragon may be living at the 12th, but this and me are a part of the all. We're just little living cells, a part of the all. But we are a part of the all. We're not outside of it. We're not separate. And sometimes that's all you need to know. I don't like creating codependency relationships at the bedside. And so frequently I'll stay away, especially from my friends. And I have from my family as well. Because there's no room when you're walking home to God for codependency. There's no room for it. And if your care and the people that are caring for you are overshadowed by dependency, and they need you so much, or you need them so much to know you're loved or to know you're okay or anything, that's codependency. And it needs to end before you go. You have that choice, though. It's not for me to decide for you. It was for me to decide for myself many years ago. And I will tell you there are some upsides and some downsides to that, because I can bluntly see the shenanigans, the truth, the tricksters, the heyokas, and I don't fall for that. And if somebody's a scammer or out to deceive you or to extort money from you, to play games with your heart, it reveals. That stuff reveals. And when you're sitting with someone in the room days, weeks, hours before they pass away, there's no time to play games. There's no time for tricksters. Every moment, every breath counts. Every alignment moment you can have that witnesses that compassion the Almighty, the All Creator has for you when you're leaving this earth. That's what matters. My work has become more and more religious every year. if you call it that, but it doesn't align with any known religion. It's just a belief. Some of my friends and my past clients call them teleisms, meaning taking my name and making it into an ism. I have a lot of teleisms, but I wanted to share with you the horse. I wanted to introduce you to one of my spirit guides, a symbol of that. No, I don't put power and strength into that, but the symbol of the power and the strength I know I can call upon with all integrity, with all purity, with all wisdom, with all knowing, and with all thank you, God. Thank you. So, mwah, mwah, mwah. All my love.